All right, let's actually go to the Chicago Sky, and let's talk about who the Chicago Sky picked up. Chicago Sky made 3 picks in this year's WNBA draft, and to be honest with you, I was a little bit surprised. I was kind of surprised by some of the Chicago Sky's picks. They ended up making a couple picks that I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. That could be interesting. Mama is very excited about this draft for the Chicago Sky. For the number 10 pick, the Chicago Sky ended up picking up Aicha Sivka from Slovenia. That is someone who has been overseas doing her thing. She is someone who is a 6'3" power forward, but can play the small forward position as well. She's someone who can knock down shots, right? She's basically a 3-level scorer, someone who can be very impactful on the court for the Chicago Sky, a stretch type of player. Now, will she come to the WNBA this upcoming year? We'll see. She was there at draft night. Her dad was emotional, and so it seemed like, okay, well, maybe there's a chance that she actually comes over this year, or maybe she decides to wait for another year. Either way, she is a talented player. Again, I was a little surprised by them making this decision, but I'm like, okay, well, she has some talent. She has some talent, that's for sure. And then we get to the 11th pick in the WNBA draft, and then I was very, very shocked. I was like, what? With the 11th pick in the WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky end up picking up Hailey Van Lith of TCU. And to be honest with you guys, I was surprised. Mama was very ecstatic about this. Mama has been a big fan of Hailey Van Lith this past season. I have too. I think Hailey Van Lith is great. But Mama was really looking forward to having Hailey join the Chicago Sky. And Hailey has joined. And so Mama is getting herself a jersey, that's for sure, because she is very excited about it. But to be honest with you guys, I was surprised. Like, yes, Hailey Van Lith has had a fan-freaking-tastic year this year. Very, very fantastic year. But I was surprised. All right, this was a draft for the Chicago Sky that was about filling up some gaps, right? It was about filling up some gaps for this team. For Sivka, she brings a lot of long-term potential for this team. She brings a lot of size. For Hailey Van Lith, she is someone who has a lot of experience. She also is very familiar with Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese, guys, was super excited about Hailey Van Lith getting added to this team. Angel ended up putting on Twitter, says, "We didn't do it right the first time. Let's run it back." On the post where the Chicago Sky was announcing Hailey Van Lith as their 11th pick in the draft. Now, again, Hailey is talented. She is. However, I'm surprised that they passed up on players like a Serena Sundell, like a Cheyenne Sellers. However, we do know that Hailey Van Lith does show up. She is someone who has gotten used to being considered an underdog, right? She's this past year she averaged 17.9 points a game, 5.4 assists per game as well. And hey, love her or hate her, she has played for 3 elite programs in college: Louisville, LSU, and TCU. She's made the Elite 8 every single year. She is someone who has shown that she can handle the ball a lot better this year. Now, could it have been the fact that she spent the year in the Big 12, which is, definitely, in my opinion, a step down from the SEC? Yeah, sure. But we'll see. We will see what she can do. Again, I'm a little on the fence about it. I am. Because I think there were some other picks that you could have picked. However, Mama like it, so I'm riding with Mama. Okay, all right. I'm riding with her on this, and we're gonna see ultimately what Hailey Van Lith can do with With the number 16th pick, the Chicago Sky ended up picking up Maddy Westbeld. Again, I was a little surprised about this because there were other picks that you could have picked at that moment. Like there were a lot of other players who were still on the draft board, and it was just sort of like, okay, interesting, because you had Tina Pau still on the draft board. Michaela Timpson was still on there. You know, there was some ballers still on the on deck. And then the Chicago Sky ended up picking up Maddy Westbeld. Again, Maddy Westbeld is a talented player. She's dealt with injury, and so I don't think we totally got to see her play her best this past season. She's a 6'3" power forward from Notre Dame. She is someone who can get that mid-range jumper up, can get to the rim, but she did, in my opinion, not have the best of seasons this past year because, again, she was dealing with some injury, and she does add some depth for the Chicago Sky squad. If you want to think of Sivka as more of a small forward and Maddy Westbeld as a power forward, I think that makes a lot of sense. But we'll see ultimately, one, if she makes the roster, and two, how exactly she fits on this squad. Also, the Chicago Sky ended up picking up Aicha Coulibaly. She is a 6-foot guard from Texas A&M. I don't know too much about her. However, this past season, she averaged 13 points a game. Or on her career, she averaged 13 points a game and 5.4 rebounds a game. She is someone who some people say is very, very underrated. She is also, someone who can do a little bit of everything. She can defend. She can knock down shots. But she is coming off of a pretty bad injury. She got injured during the season this past year and has been out ever since. And so we'll see ultimately if she ends up playing this year. We'll see. But if she does end up playing for the season, she's gonna have to fight for a roster spot because, y'all, we remember last year how the Chicago Sky ended up having a really good draft pick, the person didn't actually make the team because she got hurt in training camp, and then it was just sort of it from there. So, that's something to kind of keep in mind. That is something to kind of keep in mind. All right. All right, let's get to y'all super chats real quick. Thank you so much. Repito, aka Michael says, I know this is probably a different video, but what's your early take on the 5 teams who will miss the playoffs? I got Sun, Sky, Mystics, Aces, and Dream ? Yeah, separate video. I gotta think about that. Because I gotta categorize all of the draft picks, because the draft just happened yesterday, because I was live and all that stuff. I wanted to prepare my grades for the draft, but I haven't actually had time to fully analyze everything, so I'm only covering the stuff I've really gone through. But we'll see. I'll make a separate video. Actually, I'll do a separate live stream about it. Okay. But thank you so much for your support, Michael. Ania, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I was shocked about the Sky, but I am very happy with the Sky's picks. Sky fixed all or most of their issues they had last year. I'm so excited. Well, one role that they still haven't fixed, figured out, and I don't know if they will, is you don't have a replacement for Kennedy Carter. That sort of guard that you can just give her the basketball and just say, go do your thing. You still don't have that. So, but I mean, to be honest with you, there wasn't that much you can really do in the draft to even fix that. So yeah. Anyway, I do thank y'all so much for y'all support. Fun fact, guys, for the Seattle Storm, we will see Dominique Malunga rejoin Gabby Williams. Both of those players played on the French national team, and they are going to be reunited. That's why I called the theme of this stream Run It Back, because Dominique Malunga will be running it back with her French teammate, Gabby Williams. And for the Chicago Sky, Hailey Van Lith will be running it back with her former teammate, Angel Reese. Now, guys, of course, there's a whole bunch more coverage I could say, and I will say in future streams. However, I gotta go. I gotta get to work. But I do thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for rocking with me yesterday. Thank you for joining me today. I know it's early, but I appreciate all y'all. If y'all could, as y'all are heading out, please make sure to hit that like button. I make content all about women's basketball. So if that is your thing, make sure to like and subscribe.